Welcome to Preeminent Test Prep. Today I'll be taking you through the Math No Calculator section of SAT Practice Test 1. I'll be giving you my tips, tricks, and advice for the Math No Calculator section, as I'll be completing this in under 10 minutes to give you an idea of how you can improve your speed on this section while maintaining accuracy. Make sure to subscribe for more content, and let's go and get started with question 1. Alright, if x minus 3 equals k and k equals 3, what is the value of x? Well, I'm substituting 3 in for k. I'm going to multiply each side by 3 so I can get x without a denominator. 3 times 3 will give me 9, so now I have 9 equals x minus 1. I'll add 1 to each side. 9 plus 1 gives me 10 equals x. My answer is going to be D. Question 2. For I equals the square root of negative 1, what's the sum of 7 plus 3i plus negative 8 plus 9i? Well, 3i plus 9i, that's going to give me 12i. And then 7 minus 8 is going to give me negative 1. So I have negative 1 plus 12i. It's going to be answer A. Question 3. On Saturday afternoon, Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours, and Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. Which of the following represents the total number of messages sent by Armand and Tyrone on Saturday afternoon? Where their total is going to be Armand, he spent 5 hours sending text messages at a rate of M, plus the 4 hours Tyrone spent sending messages at a rate of P. So their total together will be 5M plus 4P, which is answer choice C. Question 4. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that needs repairs. The number of phones she has left to fix at the end of the day can be estimated with the equation P equals 108 minus 23D, where P is the number of phones left and D is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the value 108? Well, if she works 0 days, she still has 108 phones left to fix. So that means that she starts each week with 108 phones to fix, which means the answer is going to be B. All right, question 5. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? Well, I'm going to go ahead and find my values that are like terms, and I'm going to go ahead and simplify. So I have x squared y minus negative x squared y. Minus a negative means I'm adding, so I'm going to have 2x squared y, which means I can get rid of a and b. Next, I look for my term that is different in these two answers here. I see it's y squared, so I'm going to have my negative 3y squared minus negative 3y squared. Minus a negative gives me plus positive, so I have plus 3y squared. That means that's going to give me 0, which means answer choice D is incorrect, and C will be my answer. Question 6. A pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height of a boy in inches in terms of the boy's age A and years between the ages 2 and 5. Based on the model, what's the estimated increase in inches of the boy's height each year? Well, if his age goes up 1, that means that he aged 1 year, and his height went up by 3 inches, so our answer is going to be A. All right, question 7. The formula above gives the monthly payment M needed to pay off a loan of P dollars at R% annual interest, which the following gives P in terms of M, R, and N. Well, here's the thing. I see that I have P on this side. If I want to get rid of all of this and put it on the other side, I multiply by the reciprocal, which means what's in my denominator on the right side goes in my numerator on the left, and what was in my numerator on my left side, or on my right side, goes in my denominator on my left side. So those two switch spots. The answer choice for that is going to be answer choice B. All right, now I can go ahead and move on. We've got question 8. If A over B equals 2, what's the value of 4B over A? Well, if A over B equals 2, that means A is 2 and B is 1. Now I go ahead and substitute those values in. If A is 2, that means I have a 2 in my denominator. If B is 1, then I have 4 over 2, which is equal to 2. So my answer is going to be C. All right, question 9. What is the solution xy to the system of equations above? All right, when I see it's in a column like this, I want to figure out a way to get rid of one variable. I see I have 4y and 2y, so if I multiply my bottom equation by 2 and then subtract, I'll have 4y minus 4y, which will get me just my x's and then a number I can set it to solve for x. So I have 4y minus 2 times 2y, that gets rid of my y's. Now I have 3x minus negative x, minus 2x, minus negative 2x. So 3x minus negative 2x is going to give me 5x, because it's subtracting a negative, which means it's adding a positive. And that's going to equal negative 23 minus 2 times negative 19. 2 times negative 19 is negative 38, but it's minus negative 38, so we're adding 38. Negative 23 plus 38 is going to give me 15. I divide each side by 5, and I get x equals 3. Only answer choice with x equals 3 is B, so B is going to be my answer. Question 10. For the function g defined above, a is a constant and g of 4 equals 8. What's the value of g of negative 4? Well, if I look, x is only inputted right here, right where a x squared. So since x only goes in one place and it's squared, 4 squared equals 16, and so does negative 4 squared. So they're both going to equal 8, so my answer is going to be A. All right, question 11. In the equation above, B and C represent the price per pound in dollars of beef and chicken respectively, X weeks after July 1 during last summer. What was the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of chicken? That means I'm setting my two equations equal to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract 1.75 from each side. 2.35 minus 1.75 is going to give me 0.6, and then I'll subtract my 0.25x from each side. I do that. I get 0.4x minus 2.5x, and that's, or minus 0.25x, that's going to give me 0.15x. I divide each side by 0.15, and that's going to give me x equals 4. I plug 4 in then for x. I'll plug it in right here. 0.25 times 4 gives me 1. So I have 1 plus 2.35, which will give me 3.35. So my answer there is going to be D. Question 12, a line in the xy plane passes through the origin and has a slope of 1/7. Which of the following points lies on the line? Well, the point is going to have to be equivalent in a ratio to 1/7, right? Or I'm sorry, yes, to 1/7, right? So if we look at our answer choices, right, we have to have a answer choice that is equivalent in the ratio of 1/7, right? So we have, if we look at our answer choices, we've got D, 14 and 2, right? That's going to give us that 2 as our y, which is our rise, over our run of 14, which is equal to 1/7. That's our slope, because our y-intercept here is 0, so that will be our correct answer. All right, now we've got question 13. If x is greater than 3, which of the following is equivalent to this equation? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a common denominator in this set of equations here. So I'm going to multiply this side here by x plus 3, and this side here by x plus 2, and that'll all be over x plus 2 times x plus 3 in each side, right? Okay, so now that I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add my terms, right? So now I'm going to get x plus x, that's going to give me 2x, and then 3 plus 2, 2x plus 5, right? And this is all 1 is over this, right? And this, in our denominator right here, then we're going to have our x squared plus 5x plus 6. All right, what's this going to equate to? We're going to do 1 over 1, multiply it by our reciprocal of our number in our denominator here. That's going to be x squared plus 5x plus 6 all over 2x plus 5. So we know that this right here is going to be our answer, and that's answer choice B. All right, question 14. If 3x minus y equals 12, what's the value of 8x divided by 2y? Well, 8x is equivalent to 2 to the power of 3x, because 8 equals 2 to the power of 3. That's going to be over 2y. We know that since we have the same base, that 2 to the power of 3x minus y is equivalent to that, right, this equation here. And we know 3x minus y is equal to 12, so that means we're going to have 2 to the 12th, which is answer choice A. All right, question 15. If ax plus b plus 2 times bx plus 7 equals this equation for all values of x and a plus b equals 8, what are two possible values for c? All right, well, I know that a times b has to equal 15 because I have this 15x squared, and I know that a gets multiplied by b to get me abx squared. X squareds cancel, I get ab equals 15, and I know a plus b equals 8, so two obvious terms that will come up to mind. It's going to be a equals 3, and then b equals 5. They equal 15 when they're multiplied, and they add to 8. All right, so now I'm asked for the values of c. All right, well, let's just go ahead and substitute in. So we have 3 then times that 7. 3x times 7 is going to give me 21x. And then we're going to have that plus our b, 5 times 2, which is 10. And that'll get me 31, which means there's only one answer with 31. And that's going to be D. So D will be my answer there. All right, question 16. If t is greater than 0 and t squared minus 4 equals 0, what's the value of t? I add 4 to each side. And now I get t squared equals 4. We're told t has to be positive, so it can't be negative 2. When we root each side, we're going to get t equals 2, so my answer is going to be 2. All right, 17. All right, so we've got a bunch of lengths, and we're asked to solve for x. So we've got 800 feet, it says is CD, and then it says that BD is 700 feet, and it says that EB is 1400 feet. All right, right off the bat, I know these angles are the same, so I know if I'm going from B to E, that's similar to that length from B to D. So if I know I'm doubling going from 700 to 1400, and I also know that D to C is similar to A to E, right? Those are the two similar side lengths. I have to multiply that 800 by 2, and that gives me 1600 for x. All right, now I move on to 18. I've got these two equations. What's the value of x? All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract x, or I'm going to subtract my bottom equation from my top, get rid of x, solve for y, plug back in, and then solve for x. I do that, I get y minus 2y, that's going to give me negative y, and then I got negative 9 minus negative 25, that gives me 25 minus 9, that's 16. That means that y then has to equal negative 16. I plug in negative 16. Now I'm going to add 16 to each side, right? So I do that to give me just x, and that gives me x equals 7. So my answer is going to be 7 for 18. Question 19. In a right triangle, one angle measures x, where sine of x equals 4/5. What is cosine 90 minus x? I'll show you real quick. If this angle is x, 90 minus x is going to be that angle here. So if x has a sine of 4/5, opposite over hypotenuse, is going to be 4/5. What is the cosine 90 minus x? That's also going to be 4/5. All right, question 20. If a equals 5 root 2 and 2a equals square root 2x, what's the value of x? All right, well, we'll go 2 times a. 2 times a is going to give us 10 root 2 equals root 2x. I go ahead and square each side. 10 squared is 100. Root 2 squared is times 2, and that's going to give me 2x. So now I have 200 equals 2x. I divide each side by 2, and I will get x equals 100. So my answer is going to be 100. Thank you for watching Preeminent Test Prep. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share as we will be releasing more videos to help you prepare for the SAT.